Welcome to another episode of EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling. Here is the recap of the results of AEW Full Gear. Pac Def, Darby Allin, a brutal match that took in account Pac's athleticism and Darby Allin's wild ways. Using Sting's bat, Pac outdueled Darby Allin. Timeless Love bombs Def, Babes of Wrath, Sisters of Sin, and Megan Ben and Marina Shafir. The women put on an amazing match. Each woman put on a masterpiece. The women each tried to outdo the other. Timeless bombshells advance. AEW Tag Team Championship, FTR Def. Brodido, C. Tag Team Wrestling is a lost art and FTR were in their domain. Ricochet wins the Casino Gauntlet for the new AEW National Championship. A fun gauntlet match that didn't provide surprises but still fun. Ricochet becoming the inaugural national champion is a smart choice. Kylie O'Reilly Def, Jon Moxley, Bloody and Visceral. For every form of Moxley's offense, O'Reilly had an answer. Moxley tapped again. TNT Championship, Mark Briscoe Def. Kylie Fletcher, C. Mark Briscoe was in his domain. Violence that involved ladders, tats and other forms of torture. 1 million match, Young Bucks and Josh Alexander Def. Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega. 6 athletic stars put on a masterclass in tag team tandem offense. Kali's family looked to assault Kenny Omega, but the Young Bucks had a change of heart to save their fallen commander. AEW Women's World Championship, Chris Statlander, C. Def. Mercedes Moon, biggest surprise and history haunted. Both women did an amazing job telling a story. AEW Men's World Championship, Samoa Joe Def. Hangman Page, C. Another surprise. Blood and violence with a big suave pun intended. Ops entered the picture and put the advantage to Samoa Joe. Hook showed true color and joined the Ops. Well, that was another results portion. Now to the rest of EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling.
Welcome to another episode of EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling. Another What If series. What if Hollywood had not embraced professional wrestling? The biggest effects would be a less mainstream industry, with smaller promotions like WWE, AEW, and TNA, now Impact, potentially struggling or failing to gain widespread recognition. The crossover appeal of stars like Dwayne Johnson and John Cena would be diminished, and the broader cultural impact of wrestling would be significantly lessened. This scenario would also have prevented the rise of massive stars and eras like the Hulk Hogan-led 80s or the Attitude Era, severely impacting the history and current state of wrestling. Effect on WWE. No mainstream star power. Hollywood's embrace of wrestling brought stars like Dwayne Johnson, John Cena, and Batista into the mainstream, creating massive crossover appeal. Without this, they likely wouldn't have become household names, and the WWE would lack the drawing power of these larger-than-life figures. Lack of historical impact. The WWE's history, including the Rock and Wrestling era, the Attitude Era, and the Ruthless Aggression Era, would not have been possible without the cultural integration that Hollywood provided. Without this exposure, the WWE would be a much smaller entity, and figures like Hulk Hogan would never have achieved legendary status. Smaller scale production. The WWE's ability to produce the large-scale spectacle of events like WrestleMania and its weekly shows would be severely hampered without the financial backing and cultural legitimacy that Hollywood collaborations provide. The show would likely remain more of a niche product than the global entertainment juggernaut it is today. One of factors of our letting go of Hulk Hogan led to the domino effect, so this aspect would be impactful. Rowdy Piper also got into acting, so imagine they live without the famous phrase, "I enjoy chewing bubble gum and kicking ass, and I'm out of bubble gum." As mentioned earlier, stars like Bautista, Dwayne Johnson and John Cena would be in different aspect of wrestling. They could be still wrestling and not have being utilized. So WWE alone entered the Rock and Wrestling era and it trickled to Hollywood. So they have had the biggest impact in Hollywood. Hulk Hogan, Jesse Ventura, Professor Tanaka, Andre the Giant, John Cena, Bautista, The Rock. Effect on AEW. Different growth trajectory. Without the Hollywood embrace of wrestling, AEW might have followed a different path. The increased attention from Hollywood helped fuel AEW's growth, and its current position as a major competitor to WWE is a direct result of that. Different talent pool. Without the cross-pollination of talent between wrestling and Hollywood, the current roster and creative direction of AEW would look very different. The company would likely not be able to offer the high salaries that have attracted top talent to AEW, impacting the overall quality and marketability of the product. Less mainstream success, the Hollywood embrace, has not only helped WWE but also provided a cultural context for other promotions like AEW to be seen as a legitimate alternative to the established mainstream. Without this, AEW's brand and market share would likely be significantly smaller. Right now MJF has been the biggest star dabbling in Hollywood. He's been in Iron Claw, Happy Gilmore and more. Of course they were involved in Queen of the Ring, so that could have been interesting if they did a movie without wrestlers. Effect on TNA Impact Wrestling. Failure to thrive. Without the mainstream appeal that Hollywood eventually brought to the wrestling world, it's highly unlikely TNA would have survived. Its early attempts at competing with WWE failed partly due to a lack of broad appeal and media-savvy execution, a stark contrast to the more successful mainstream integration shown by WWE and AEW. Limited brand recognition. TNA would have struggled to build a significant fanbase or gain widespread recognition. The company's struggles were exacerbated by its inability to tap into wider pop culture, a crucial element in the success of WWE and AEW. Lower-tier promotion. TNA's financial situation would likely be far worse. Without the massive profits generated by a global reach and brand recognition built on mainstream appeal, the company would have struggled to compete with established promotions like WWE and AEW, making it a perennial niche product. Sting, Kevin Nash and Kurt Angle were involved in some B-movies, so it's interesting. In summary, if Hollywood had not embraced professional wrestling, the industry as we know it would not exist. WWE would be a smaller entity, and companies like AEW and TNA would either not exist or struggle to gain any significant recognition. The careers of many top-tier stars and the very concept of a mainstream, global wrestling product would be severely diminished. Well, let's now go to the predictions for Survivor Series and the discussion. Let's wrestle.
That time of year and we have the predictions for Survivor Series. Me spending time here takes away from my busy schedule, but I'm a professional and can't keep the public from my greatness, so here are the predictions for the annual celebration and no gobbledygooker sightings. Number 1. Team Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns, versus The Vision, Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar, in the men's War Games match. Storytelling is at a premium. Roman Reigns is wanting world gold and 2 of his teammates are world champion, so there is a conflict between the 3 biggest stars of wrestling. Then there is the Jey Uso issue. His performances have been highly suspect where botches are happening too often. We here at EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling think Jey Uso turns heel and joins the Vision, leading to Team Vision winning. Prediction: Team Vision. Number 2. John Cena vs Dominik Mysterio for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. This will be interesting. Cena winning is just the feel-good story, but what is the point him carrying the IC belt into the sunset? The 2-time under 30 top star pulls off the upset. Prediction: a new Intercontinental Champion Dirty Dom. Number 3. Stephanie Vaquer vs Nikki Bella for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Nikki Bella doesn't belong in the same ring of the great Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie retains and leads to the surprise entrant. I'm thinking Tiffy time goes to Raw and avenges her loss at Crown Jewel. Prediction: Stephanie retains. Number 4. Team Rhea, Rhea Ripley, Iyo Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair and AJ Lee, vs. Team Becky, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, and Becky Lynch, in a Women's War Games match. The build-up of this has been nice, with the only problem the lack of Judgment Day or Bayley, but I digress. Charlotte and Rhea seeing eye to eye can mean for one of the greatest Women's War Games unit. A lot of stories can build up from these competitors. AJ Lee return is the big story here, and you cannot make her first Survivor Series a losing effort, so Team Rhea wins. Prediction: Team Rhea survive War Games. Well, now to the discussion, and you're welcome. My presence is very valuable and spending time with me is something you can always look forward to.
A great week of wrestling. Now to the discussion. Espan's third installment of Top 30 Professional Wrestlers Under 30 was out, and Dominik Mysterio tops the list for the second year in a row. 1. Dominik Mysterio, 28 years old. Accolades Intercontinental Champion and AAA Mega Champion. 2. Kyle Fletcher, 26 years old. The Protostar is looking to eclipse the moon. The former TNT champion has a trajectory of success all but tagged. 3. Rhea Ripley, 29 years old. Last year number 4, so she up to number 3. Her achievements are too numerous to list, but her aura is unmatched. 4. MJF, 29 years old. Always a great mic guy, but this year his movie lists of Happy Gilmore 2 and Violent Night 2 making his outreach expanding. 5. Tiffany Stratton, 26 years old. Having an unbelievable 2025 with a 24-match undefeated streak and holding the women's world title, sky's the limit. Making the top 10. 6. Bron Breakker, 28 years old. 7. Blake Monroe, 27 years old. 8. Obafemi, 27 years old. 9. Roxanne Perez, 24 years old. 10. Leon Slater, 21 years old. This week the Continental Classic has started this week. This year it will be for the Continental Championship, where Team Blue and Gold participate. Team Blue, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Konosuke Takashita, Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, and Mascara Dorada. Team Gold, Kyle Fletcher, Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, Pac, Darby Allin, Kazuchika Okada. And in Night 1, the shock of the night was Kyle Fletcher's win over Okada. As we seen in with What If. Hollywood and wrestling work together. This week for the Thanksgiving weekend, the release of Zootopia 2, where CM Punk and Roman Reigns play the zebras, and due to the early reports of success we may get a spin-off Zebrapod.
At the ZPD, partnership is the cornerstone of success.
No, carrots! Whoa! Beautiful!
You want to put bad guys away?
Ow! Stop pulling my ears, stop pulling my ears! Never pull a bunny's ears!
Be on the same page every day.
Jiggle it, let's go! I got this! Here's the fuzz!
Toot toot.
Everybody run!
Well, can't win them all.
Come on, get on up.
Let me ask you something. Do you think we're a good team?
Of course. I just wish I knew what we had to do to prove it to everyone else. We check the perimeter, snoop a little, we find nothing, we bail.
No snake has set foot in Zootopia in forever.
Keep the music playing, playing.
There's a snake!
Stop in the name of the law!
Snakes aren't the bad guys. I have to set things right. And when I do, my family will finally be able to come home.
Woo! Hops and Wiles. Dream team.
On the ground!
Help me save him!
I would like to call a partner meeting.
I want the fox and that rabbit. Do you know how many mayors they've already destroyed?
1, 2.
I got up to 2. All right, Carrots, any idea where you want to start?
Yeah! If you want to find you a reptile, I am your gal. Breathe it in. Woo! Zootopia has a secret reptile population. Just let me handle the locals. Hey, bub.
Hey, bub.
Hey, bub.
Hey, bub. Hey, bub, bub.
Hey, bub. Bubby, bub.
Hey, bub. Hey, bub. Hey, ho.
Hey, bub. Seen a snake?
Nope.
Wait, cannonball!
Baby, keep the music playing. Come on, get on up. We're wild and we can't be tamed.
I got eyes on them! In pursuit!
We have to solve their case.
It's not worth dying for. Judy!
Nick!
Good luck! I love you!
When you two save the city, maybe everyone will see reptiles ain't that different.
Gold Rush Night 2 saw Kendall Gray successfully retain the Evolve Women's Championship, and many are talking about her upside, and she's the real deal. It was announced AAA has signed a broadcast with Fox and it will cover events like Triple Mania. The deal covers Mexico, Central America and all of South America, except Brazil. Talking about AAA, new WWE signee Elio Leffler and will quickly debut in a triple threat against Jack Cartwheel and Chris Carter. In unfortunate news, Penta on Monday injured his shoulder in a match against Solo Sikoa, which makes matters messy because in AAA he just paired up with his Lucha Bros brother Rey Fenix. Get well soon. On Gold Rush, John Cena named the competitors for the Iron Survivor match. Men's, Javon Evans, TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater, Joe Hendry, Dark State's Dion Lennox, and Miles Bourne. Women's, Sol Rika, Lola Weiss, Kelani Jordan, Jordan Grace, and Evolve champion Kendall Gray. Now let's go to Matches of the Week, Wrestlers of the Week and Indie Star of the Week. Matches of the Week. WWE. Raw. Last time is now tournament, Gunther vs Carmelo Hayes. The match was everything one expects in a perfect wrestling match. Carmelo Hayes needs a push because he's so damn good while Gunther can't put out a bad match, well unless against Jey Uso. NXT, the TNA Knockouts Women's Championship Kelani Jordan C vs Jordan Grace vs Lei Ying Lee. The three stars put out an amazing contest where all displayed a great masterpiece of a match. There wasn't a dull moment. SmackDown. War Games Advantage match, Charlotte Flair vs Asuka. A very fun match and the two put on a great match where the two top stars didn't disappoint. AU. Continental Classic, Kyle Fletcher vs Okada. Kyle Fletcher really has all the markings of something special. Okada is a match machine for a reason. This match was PPV quality on a random Dynamite. TNA. Turkey Bowl match, Ryan Nemeth vs Brian Myers vs Mance Warner vs Hometown Man vs Trey Miguel vs Eric Young. Chaos and Hijinks. Fueled match that may not have been major star-studded event but the match was awfully fun. Wrestlers of the Week. WWE, Kendall Gray. The Evolve star has many praising her and the future is very bright for the young lady. Gold Rush put spotlight on her and she didn't disappoint. AU. Kyle Fletcher, the protostar is the future of AEW. Not only did he upset Okada and he made it his number 2 for Espan's top 30 under 30. His future is very bright. TNA Knockouts Champion, Lei Ying Lee. Bringing the title back to TNA is accolades enough but she is a good wrestler that deserves all the accolades possible. Indie Star of the Week. Lanie Luck Glory Pro Champion and recent winner of the WWE Women's Champion after winning the gold on November 17th, so technically this may be a cheat because she's destined to be signed but winning the gold without a contract still makes her an indie star. Well, that's another episode of EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling. Chalo Kushti Karate.
In case you missed it, proving never let a human do what a Yeti can. A lot of international stuff to go through. Congrats to AEW's Claudio Castagnoli. He is the new CMLL World Champion staying south of the border. AAA Allianz's event pre-show had Psycho Circus retain over Creed Brothers in the match to look for the second addition to the Cruiserweight Championship. Jack Cartwheel defeated Chris Carter and Elio Fleur. Debut, a fun match that was exciting from bell to bell. Los Toxicas defeated Lola Vice and Flava Apache. Again Lola Vice has been amazing and the crowd loves her in 6-man match. La Parker, Mr. Iguana and Hamburgso defeated LWO and Grano Del Mar. Dr. Wagner's son turned in LWO main event. El Grand Americano defeated Vikingo in a stellar match where El Grand Americano has the fans eating off his hands. WWE put out the second commercial for WrestleMania 42. This time the ladies took front and center. Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Iyo Sky and Tiffany Stratton. Well, that's all the wrestling you need to know until next week. Let's wrestle I guess, but my finisher is far superior. Adu.
Wrestling is something special, as you can see our human element dealt with a lot of superstars. King Kong Bundy, a wrestler deserving WWE Hall of Fame. Sherry Martel was an amazing person who helped revolutionize the women's division. The Crusher, who Milwaukee famous, was a classic star. Puppet the Midget was a bigger-than-life superstar who is both engaging and ahead of his time. Wrestling is life and we want to push it forward.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 14, Kenosha Community Television. Remember to tune into my program, Just Talkin', shown right here, Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. on Channel 14. On the program, we cover community events, talk to nonprofit organizations, and who knows, we may bump into a celebrity now and then. So remember to tune in to Just Talkin' Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. right here on Channel 14.
Kenosha Community Media. For 40 years it entertained, educated and produced local production for the city of Kenosha. Viewers like you not only can watch but be part of the channel by bringing in local Flair Spectrum Channel 14, Roku and Internet. KenoshaMedia.org, 262-564-6103 address. Southwest Library, The Hub, 7979 38th Street, Kenosha, Wisconsin, 53142.
EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling is carrying out the tradition that was brought to you by Diablo Angelico and Danger Dan. The show must go on. Mondays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 6 p.m. on Kenosha Community Media. Channel 14 with Spectrum or on Roku KCM streaming. With EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling will keep you updated and informed. Mondays at 5 p.m. Fridays at 6 p.m. Tune in and enjoy wrestling. The renaissance of wrestling is occurring as we speak, so be part of sports entertainment. Each week you can see the discussion with topics, wrestlers and matches of the week. Looking at the big three: WWE, AEW and TNA. So if you enjoy wrestling and everything that makes wrestling special, tune in KCM 14 on Mondays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 6 p.m. EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling.
Boinker's Cartoon Apocalypse, where classic cartoons are revisited. Saturday at 10 a.m. and Sundays 10:30 a.m. If you enjoy classic and rare cartoons, you go to show. Nigel the Yeti is taking the reins while Mr. Boinkers add to the programming. The likes of Betty Boop, Popeye, Porky Pig, Daffy Duck, Mickey Mouse, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Felix the Cat and so much more. On Kenosha Community Media Channel 14, sit back with friends and family and relive the magic of morning cartoons. Wake up, gather the family and enjoy cereal and relive one's youth. Mr. Boinker's Cartoon Apocalypse, where whimsy is part of the magic. Join the other circus freaks where cartoons were fun and artistic. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. and Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Enjoy what made mornings special. Mr. Boinker's Cartoon Apocalypse, where classics fill the time.
What the heck are we watching? Movie reviews without pompous and pretentious critics who have agendas. Kenosha Community Media, Fridays at 5 p.m. and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Cinephiles who like movies for entertainment and not rants and raves, who make the audiences feel bad for themselves. Weekly discussion on movies and with no alternatives. The movie reviews are to help audiences to make their decision. Not only are modern movies reviewed but a discussion on hidden gems, where good movies that have fallen through the cracks and forgotten. So before you go out, check out What the Heck Are We Watching? On Kenosha Community Media Channel 14. Fridays at 5 p.m. and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m.
Just Turned Heel, hosted by Danger Dan and Diablo Angelico, as seen on EveryRing That's Everything Wrestling. Behind the curtain look at professional wrestling. A gritty shoot style of interviews where we look at various aspects of wrestling. Ever wanted to know what an indie star needs to do to get their foot in the door? Ever wanted to know what a booker does? Ever wanted to know the purpose of a referee is? Just Turned Heel will plunge into the world of wrestling and look at every facet. Just Turned Heel, YouTube exclusive, starting January 28, 2024.
Beware! Take care! The little green dragon sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys. puppy dog tails, and big, fat snails. Beware! Pull the string! Pull the string! Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater can be viewed
on Saturdays at 9 o'clock, Tuesdays at 3 o'clock, and Fridays at midnight.
All right, ghoulies, you tune in. You won't be let down.